Alright everyone, today's video is called A Tale of Two Games, and it's going to be about how to set the tone for your campaign and everything at your table and how to do it right to enrich your game. So the first question you've got to ask yourself is, what style of campaign do I run? Do I run an epic style campaign or a guild hall campaign? And this is very important because the two are super distinct, and if you have the wrong player at your game for the style that you want, it's not going to be as fun for them, and it's not going to be as fun for you. So for instance, if you bring a joke character to or a less serious character to a guild hall campaign, it works out perfectly because guild hall is very light. It's just you're kicking back with the boys, you're fooling around, you're having fun, you're doing crazy stuff. I've played in a guild hall, I've DM'd for a guild hall before, and they're both very fun. But if I showed up with a very serious character to a guild hall campaign, I would not have as much fun because none of my background motivations would probably get solved. And they can, but it's not a guarantee that they'll get solved. So it's best to show up with a less serious character to a guild hall campaign. And on the same note, it's best that you show up with a very serious character to a very serious campaign, to an epic style campaign, because if you show up with a joke character without a functional background and you know he's lacking a functional background, he's lacking character motivation, he's lacking all that stuff. If it's not an epic style character, it's not going to jive well with the game, and you're not going to have as much fun, right? So during session -1, you've got to establish with your players that you're looking for either an epic or a guild hall style campaign, and you've got to ask them, what they're looking for as well. And you've got to sort that all out during session -1 so that you guys can have the right fit of game for you for the party that you're building, right? So, and then during session 0, you need to continue to set the tone by creating functional backgrounds if you're in an epic campaign, or by creating very cool concepts if you are in a guild hall campaign, right? Because if I don't have a functional background in my epic style campaign, yes, I'll still have fun if I'm a serious character, but will I really have the emotional investment? No, I won't. And the biggest thing about the epic style campaign is the emotional investment you can achieve and the real emotion that you can get from your players and from your DM as well, right? That's the biggest part of an epic style campaign. That's why it's so much fun to play an epic style campaign as opposed to a guild hall, because the payoff from an epic style campaign is so much different than the payoff from a guild hall campaign, right? Guild hall is very relaxing, very fun, very light. But an epic style campaign can give you those really emotional moments that you think about a long time down the line. And so you've got to create your functional backgrounds during your session 0 for an epic campaign to have the best experience, right? And side note, DMs, if you are having them create an epic background, a functional background, then make sure to weave some of that into the world. Not everything has to be weaved into the world, but some of it should be, right? There's a character, Veosenia, in Monty Martin's Dungeons & Drachenheim. Her father is missing, and eventually they do get to the castle, which is where he was last seen, and they find him, and there's a huge revelation. And if he hadn't been weaved in, yes, that would have been fine for the character's ethos, given her a strong motivation as to why she's doing what she does. But if he hadn't have ever been in there, then it might as well have not, for reasons of the story, might as well not have been in there, because she could have gotten her character ethos any number of ways. And if the missing father, one of the biggest motivators, is not weaved into the campaign, then it's really might as well not even been there, right? So that's session -1. You go to establish kind of game you're looking for, the style you're looking for. Session 0, you've got to create functional backgrounds, right, to fit with the campaign that you're running, either guild hall or epic. And in session 1 and sessions beyond there, but specifically session 1, you need to start with brutality for an epic campaign, and you can't pull any of your punches. So I had players level 3. They just started going through the sewers, and because of circumstances above, they were trapped down there. And so, in these sewers, there was a tribe of goblinoids who were kind of like ambush predators. So one member of the tribe, the bugbear, would ride a coral snake through the sewers, and they were almost impossible to detect because they adapted to holding their breath for long periods, so they could swim under there for a long time and then surface and then swim some more. And they would shoot out of the water, and they took a sneak attack strike at one of my players, dealt him a bunch of damage, and then the coral snake ambushed and used its toxic venom to incapacitate one of their allies, and then boars attacked from the front, and it just got crazy, and they were hammered really hard in that one fight, and it wasn't even that serious of a fight. It was just I hit them very hard the whole time, and they appreciated brutality, and it set a really good tone for the campaign because they know it's a serious one in which I'm not going to pull punches and I'm more than willing to kill them. So that's kind of what you want to do with your session 1 for an epic style campaign. And on the same token, if you're running a guild hall campaign, I would start at level 1. If you're running epic, I would start at level 3 because starting at level 3 for epic gives the players more ability to build a bigger background, and it's nice to have a big background. It's fun to start at level 1, but it's also fun to start at level 3 and you've done some things and you have some stuff. So that's why I start at level 3 with my epic campaigns, and it also allows me to be more brutal, right? Because if they're level 1s, they're extremely squishy, and if you're a little too heavy-handed, you'll TPK by accident, and then you'll have to save them, and they'll know that you're willing to save them, and that's not at all the tone you want to set. So I start at level 3 for my epics, and I start at level 1 for my guild halls, because the climb from level 1 to 3 to 4 to 5, the climb is so much fun in those guild hall campaigns. Because you're just slaying monsters and you're having fun. You're going on guild missions. You're getting gold, getting items, doing all this cool stuff, and it feels good. It feels good to go from level 1 to 2 to 3, and that's why I start my guild halls at level 1. But level 1 guild hall session should be very light, very fun, not dark, not heavy. They should have some cotton candy, and they should be very fluffy. So that's how to set the tone. Now here's a pro tip for this video. Make sure that you get the right player for the right game, because if you tell them that it's serious and they're like, oh, okay, cool, it's serious, I'll bring a serious character, but they can't do it. Like, I've got a friend, he's a good friend of mine, he's just not made for serious campaigns, and he can't bring a serious character to the table. He's not very good at it. So I might not invite him to my serious campaign, but to my laid back guild hall campaign, I'll definitely bring him. But to the serious campaign, if you have the wrong player there and they can't adjust, you might have to talk to them about playing in a different game that you run, right? And some DMs run 1 game a week, I understand that. But that's a pro tip, bring the right player to the game. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to comment down below on your favorite style of campaign and why. I want you to go to my Discord and tell us about the best campaign you ever played in or ran, some of the craziest sessions you had, and some of the best memories you have of the game. I want you to share and subscribe this video so that everyone can see it. And if we get 50 views between my BitChute and my YouTube channels, then I will give you guys a bonus video on the same topic, along these same lines. But good luck, goodbye, and have fun in your games.